on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Morning, Dr. Fitz.
Hi, good morning.
So, where are you here this morning?
So we are here for the first part of the Salaka Feast, which is part of the annual Heritage Festival. We are in the wonderful, beautiful village, cultural village of Pembroke. Some say this is the heart of Tobago culture. So we are here for the morning rituals that relate to the Salaka Feast.
Okay. So tell us about the morning rituals.
So let me be honest, this is actually the first time I'm actually getting up and making it to the morning rituals. But as you see here, the individuals around, they do the libations, they say thank you to the Most High God before they start the procession of going down the hill, going down to the cultural space, and then having breakfast and so forth. This is all leading up to this evening's program that starts at 8.
Cool. Well, I hope you do enjoy the
I know. Thank you.
Morning.
Good morning. It's a wonderful morning.
What is this morning?
So this morning is what we call the wetting of the ring. It's the invocational stops, which we would normally do as part of the estate stops that we have for the villages that has been the streets that have so been named and have people of fame who would have contributed to what the estate's life after transatlantic freedom was part of what we live. So today we'll be doing the trek through the village and we'll be doing the invocation, paying homage, respect and honor to all those who have contributed in such a wonderful way to the legacy we now celebrate and we call the Salaka Feast.
So what next with this afternoon?
So this is the bumper show. It's been long and hard. We're at a nice refurbished facility. The drumming is good, the dancing is good, and you can certainly see the generation to generation doing the only way people know how, which is excellent. So you will be able to see something good. So we're about getting ready to start and we down the track, yeah? Good.
Alright, so morning.
Morning.
What's your name?
Cecil Jerry all the time.
Pardon?
Cecil Jerry.
Alright, so tell us about the Pembroke Salaka Feast and this Ancestral Walk.
Well, the Ancestral Walk is something that came from way back when we started here. We take up that from the old people. They used to have this Salaka Feast at this time down on the flat down there and up on the hill. And they had different days, they cook different food, they do different dance and all kind of things. Pembroke is the only village that have outstanding dances than any part of Trinidad and Tobago, besides the Indian dances.
Okay.
But the natural dance of nation and what you want to call it, Pembroke have that.
Alright, cool. So you've been taking part in this festival as a kid.
Huh?
What's the difference between back then when you used to take part to now?
You mean
the same? Has the tradition remain the same or?
Tradition is they implement a lot on it because of the standardized performance. But the natural culture, Pembroke have folk without no clothes. That means naked folk. The only village in Tobago that have naked folk. We have dances that no other village don't have. We have songs that was made right here by some of the ancestors that passed on that no other village don't have.
So tell us some of those dances.
Well, the dances, you will see some of them this morning. If you have never seen them, you see some of them this morning.
Alright, cool.
We do spiritual dance, we do nation dance, we do natural dance, we do creative dance. Miss Karen Buckley, she did dance to here. She created her own style of dance.
Alright, cool. But well, we're looking forward to seeing what you have this morning.
I hope you come and join me.
So we have one of our person, another one of our treasure, one of our ancestral wisdom guider, this silver,
Morning.
Yeah, morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning, sir. Sorry.
Morning, sir. Tell us, talk to us about the Pembroke Salaka Feast.
Now, when I started to perform with Pembroke, that was in 1971, and we've been doing some dances. And then when they talk, and Dr. J.D.L. talk about Tobago heritage, they say Pembroke, Lescotto, Culloden, and these places and Charlottesville should know a lot. And then they say, well, Pembroke will do the heritage, the Salaka Feast. Mr. James Murray and Mr. George Charles plus Muriel Cruikshank, which we call Chutantia, they started to talk about how the heritage, the Salaka Feast used to go. Now, they start to point places. They say at Top Hill, in my yard where I'm living now, the last Salaka Feast did there, and the lady name there was, they call her Darlene Phillip, but her name was Sarah Phillip. And they said Congo Hill, which is down here. Now they call it Touch Street. But down here was Congo Hill. They say had two Africans lived there, one by the name of Kanka and one by the name of Pebu. So all of them used to do this Salaka Feast. But people feel that the Salaka Feast don't belong to Pembroke, but it really don't belong to Pembroke. It's an African feast, and Africans were living in Tobago. So it's a feast, and as they went along and pass on, people still used to keep festivals. One at Murray Hall, yeah, down at where Karen and Wendell, they grew up down there. At, the man name was Aubrey Murray, that was me. And then he had one at Philippa Paul, along the road, almost near the Pembroke Bridge down there. Then by the sailor's home, you had a man up there, they call him Russian. And so they used to call that corner Russian Corner, right? And Tantia always spoke about Russian Corner. So
we know about the stats.
Well, okay. Let's
enjoy the morning.
Yeah, yes, right. Thank you.
Good morning, how you feeling in morning? Good morning, tell me how you feeling in morning.
Spirit to this field a long time ago. Through the Veil Passage we have come, cruel displacement of slavery, but we stand today as a people who are free. Freedom! 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 So we are blessed with all ancestral wisdom and the heritage that we are proud to display. So today we gather at one of the known for roads in the village of Pembroke, which is known for the implementation of the Salaka feast, which is the feast of the ancestors. So we come today, the elders and the children who are our future of tomorrow. And we have done our ritual. So we made the circle, which shows completion and union where there will be no end. We invited the first set of ancestors who are ready for all those who would have labored and toiled. We are on the corner of Dr. Road, which is the principal and known for Thomas, Ancestral, and Samuel Thomas. We remember them today. Let me drum roll.
Yes, ma'am.
Remember the ancestors. Died, but we bless their legacy so that we can protect it. So we now move to the actual four roads over at this side, which is where the last part of the because you know when you are the four roads, you can take any direction to where you need to and be very clear. Join us in this celebration. And you see the arrow pointing in the various directions, showing and indicating the way. Be guided, take the lead as we do it. Rule Jordan,
of your country. Heritage come way back when you don't know where it come from. I don't know where it come from. But as we meet it and we take it up, we carry the legacy on. Never, come down and tell you.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
All of the performers just come on, I have something to say. Yes, come on here. Come on, performance quickly.
Performance.
Come quickly.
I want you all to embrace this opportunity. 1 minute we take it. 1 minute silence on this spot. In memory of what was past. But you see, right now, I want you all to just shut up for 1 minute on the achievement pen book, the council pen book, performance pen book, heritage what on the what it is weekend on it to achieve. Festival of Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Hi, good morning, and welcome to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates morning show. As you can see, we are live at the Salaka feast. Well, we are here in the studio, but there's a team outside at the Salaka feast, and we will be there tonight at the other part of Salaka feast. So stay tuned to Tobago Updates. I am Aliyah Holla.
And I am Chani Campbell, your dynamic youth host. It's a beautiful morning. Alia, how are you feeling?
A little tired, but you know, that's how the things go.
That makes two of us. That makes two of us. So Alia, I know that we are in Tobago Carnival season, so you know, there I was minding my own business. Then I saw my fellow youth host in a band launch. Well, Titi Vane herself.
Timu, Team True. Well, True Carnival will be on this morning with us in a short while, and I'm very, very excited for this interview because being part of the exec, it fills my heart with tremendous joy to see that someone young from the island of Tobago and from the eastern part of Tobago could produce such an exquisite band with so much details and stuff like that. So we will talk more about that later on in the show. But how was your weekend? I see you was in Capture the Flag and things, but it's a Bishop. I don't know how you was there, but it was there.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed Capture the Flag, you know. Kudos to the Scarborough Secondary alumni because it was really a tremendous event. You know, I really enjoyed the fact that you had so much schools coming out and participating. I'm a little disappointed that Scarborough Sec won again. I was really rooting for Signal Hill. I'm very disappointed, but don't worry, they will come stronger next year. I find that flag shouldn't stay in Sec at all.
On that note, congratulations to the strongest and best alumni ever, Scarborough Secondary School. Congratulations to you guys on winning yet another Capture the Flag and keeping the flag home. And next year we are going to win again. So Johnny, tell us, who birthdays do we have on the lineup?
Aliyah, just now give me a minute. I have to go and find these
so
images.
While Johnny finding, we have Miss Andrea Bonus. Happy birthday to you. The other birthday is special to Tobago Update. Without her, our faces will not look as good as they look. So happy birthday to Cassie, our very own makeup artist. And we hope that you have an amazing day. Next up, we have Miss Dr. Verlene Bob Lewis. Happy birthday to you. All the best from the Tobago Updates family. Johnny, who's next?
We have Dene Saul George. Happy birthday to you. He actually works at My Kitchen, so some of you all may know him popularly. We also have Miss Shelley Clark Bob. Her roots lie in Boko, and we are sending love to you from Oswald, Ria, and family.
So we say huge congratulations to soca artists Patrice Roberts and Ricardo Drew on their engagement that happened last night in Antigua at Drew's Day. Congratulations to you guys, and we wish you all the best going forward. Happy anniversary, 17 years and counting, to Pastor Richard Frederick and Vernice Simon Frederick from Julian Laverne and brother Vernon Simon and the entire family. Wishing you guys many more years to come. This anniversary is special to us because he's a part of the team. Happy anniversary to you, Drew and June's Dyer, celebrating 9 years of marriage bliss. Congratulations to you guys, and we hope that there are many more years to come. So on the rundown this morning, guys, we have a very compact and fulfilled rundown for you guys this morning. But before we do that, we go over to Johnny with news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Alia. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Wednesday, 27th July 2022. First up, seniors moved from home. Senior residents were removed from a home yesterday after investigations revealed startling violations. According to a release from the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, there were breaches of the Private Hospital Act and found conditions that necessitated urgent attention. They immediately removed the residents and had them medically examined before relocating them. The families of the seniors were contacted and the division made arrangements for therapeutic counseling and medical and social support for the seniors from the families. Also in this report, Total CEO resigns. The Chief Executive Officer of the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, Louise Lewis, has resigned. Chairman of the board, Alicia Edwards, confirmed his resignation at the press conference yesterday. She stated that Lewis, who came from St. Lucia, experienced difficulty adjusting to life in Tobago after accepting the position in 2018. Even though Lewis opted out of his contract early, Edwards said he left on good terms with the board. She credited Lewis with the development of Total and the transformation of Tobago's tourism marketing strategy. In the meantime, the board is sourcing a new CEO and hopes to fill that position by December of this year. Lastly, in this report, SUD turned for the solar park. The Airports Authority intends to reduce greenhouse emissions with the construction of a $12 million solar park sponsored by the European Union. Speaking at the SUD turning ceremony, Minister of Energy Stuart Young said the project is a step in the right direction because it will reduce the airport's energy bill and carbon footprint. He added that the project signals the start of the country's transition from non-renewable energy to green sources of energy. Meanwhile, the EU Ambassador Peter Cavendish stated the solar park aims to reduce TNT's energy consumption by 15%. Thank you.
And that was your news in 90 seconds by Johnny. Thank you very much. On the rundown this morning, we have for you guys Dr. Oscar Ocho coming to speak to us about UE Midwifery program. Johnny will be doing that interview. And up next, we have Kenorian Smith and Shanaria Taylor coming to talk to us about True Carnival band launch. And to end off this morning, we have
representatives from Forward the Band. We have Milio Providence and Sunil Skeet.
All right. So, guys, remember to stay tuned and remember to
share the life, share the life, share the life.
Come, there we go to Tobago, that paradise, bung by Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come to Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say, come to Tobago for holiday. Smile, every smile in Tobago. That paradise, found by Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Ronald Reagan say, come to Tobago for holiday. Now Bill Clinton say, come to Tobago for holiday. If you want a happy vacation, you can get it right here in my land. If you want a happy vacation, you can get it right here in my land.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, Tobago. It's indeed a beautiful morning, and it's all about Youth Wednesdays, bringing to you all that is relevant and that is needed in the Tobago space. We now switch to Dr. Ocho, who is the US School of Nursing Director, and he's coming to speak to us about the midwifery program hosted by the University of the West Indies.
Thank you so very much for having me on this, I should say, Tobago morning show. It is a delight to be representing the University of the West Indies to share on this new program that we propose to launch in the month of September, which is the Bachelor's in Midwifery program. A great opportunity for persons who are RNs, who are registered nurses or registered mental nurses, to be qualified now in another specialist area, a profession by itself, which is becoming a midwife.
All right, it's indeed a pleasure to have you here. So let's get directly into it. Tell us about the decision to expand your services to offer midwifery, because I know that this was a course that was primarily offered by CUSTAT. So now we are seeing that the University of the West Indies has taken up the mantle and has decided to expand its services. Tell us a little bit about that decision.
Great, thank you so much. Now, bearing in mind that within the health system in Trinidad and Tobago, there is a gross shortage of midwives. And looking at the International Confederation of Midwives, what they have identified is that as we look at expanding the profession of midwifery, midwifery should now be offered at the bachelor's level. And so therefore a more qualified midwife will ultimately be a more competent midwife. And in responding to the Ministry of Health's mandate in looking at expanding human resource for health, the University of the West Indies School of Nursing decided to do and develop the curriculum for the bachelor's in midwifery. There are two streams that an individual can take, but in the first instance, we would be focusing on individuals who are already RNs or RMNs. RNs are registered nurses, or RMNs are registered mental nurses. They now will take 2 years and end up with the bachelor's in midwifery. We have also developed the curriculum for a young person who may say, I just want to become a midwife. It's a 4-year program from inception to completion, but in the first instance, because we are responding to a felt need from the Ministry of Health, we are going to be offering the 2-year RN or RMN to BSc in midwifery.
Lovely information being presented here, but I believe we started off on the wrong foot. We are speaking about midwifery, but there may be persons who may not know what this particular job may entail. Can you briefly describe what it means to be a midwife to our viewers?
Okay, excellent, excellent. A midwife is a professional who is trained, qualified, and competent to provide services to not just the woman, but the family during the prenatal, intranatal, and postnatal periods. So the midwife then provides information as it relates to family planning. That's in the prenatal period. In the intranatal period, we are talking about antenatal care. So that person provides services starting from the primary health care level. When the person first recognizes that she is pregnant, the midwife is able to provide the primary health interventions looking at monitoring the woman during the development of the fetus, so nutritional as well as other clinical support. Then the midwife also provides support to the woman when she's admitted for delivery, the whole monitoring of the first stage right onto the period when the person delivers. And then after delivery, there is what we call the domiciliary responsibilities, where she has to monitor the woman and the baby during the first 10 days at least, and then the monitoring continues as the woman enters now the phase where there's involution of the uterus to ensure that all is well with not just the birth process, but the after birthing process of the woman. So it's a very extensive and highly specialized role that this midwife will play in the lives, not just of the woman, as I said, but of the family.
Wow, Dr. Ocho, that was indeed a wealth of knowledge shared there. I hope our viewers were able to keep up with all that medical jargon. But delving into the program just a little bit more, what are some of the particulars of the program? I know you spoke that you all recently developed the curriculum. You know, you could just give us some insight on what it entails. And you know, something that is, you know, touching a lot of minds right now is the fact that we want to bridge the gaps between theory and practical. So you know, you go to school and you sit in a classroom, but then the question is, how do you cope in a practical setting? Would you cope well in the hospital? How does the university intend to treat with a situation like that?
Now, excellent question that you have asked there. The program is structured in such a way that there is an interrelationship between the theoretical components of the program and the clinical components of the program. So in the first year, we'll be focusing on wellness and normal pregnancies, okay? So the student will be exposed to a range of courses. There is an average of 5 courses per semester. There is the theoretical component where the student will spend 3 days a week in the classroom and 2 days a week in the clinical area, because we want them to be able to appreciate wellness or normal pregnancies. In year 2, it's when we begin to focus now on complications and challenges associated with the pregnancy. And it is at this time, bearing in mind that one decision that is made in an untimely manner could have serious implications for both the woman and her baby. Because at the end of the day, that midwife needs to recognize that something could be very normal and could turn abnormal in a split second. So they take, for example, a woman might be dilating and the midwives will recognize that, yes, there must be dilation of the cervix to allow for the passage of the fetus, okay? And sometimes you may find that the woman may fail to progress. What kind of signs do you look for? Or there are other situations where you might see somebody with a swollen feet. So that on the one hand, while you look at swollen feet for persons, let's say, who have a medical problem, swollen feet in the case of a woman who is pregnant is going to tell you a different story altogether, which requires other investigations. So that is why the course is structured in such a way that when our students understand normal, they can now transition into appreciating abnormal. And this is where the critical clinical competence is going to be required so that this family could have the outcome that they look for, which is a normal, healthy baby and mother.
All right, lovely. So can you please, just tell us about the requirements for this program?
Right. So an individual who is doing the 2-year post-RN degree will need at least the basic requirements of 5 subjects, English, math, and 1 science, and any 2 other subjects. But that individual must also be qualified as an RN or RMN with at least 3 years post-qualification experience. Very simple entry requirements. For the 4-year program, it's just going to be 5 subjects, English, math, 1 science, and any 2 other subjects.
All right, thank you so much. Now I want to give you the opportunity before we close to market this program to our audience. What encouragement or advice would you give to someone who might be interested, and why should they choose UWI and not any of the other national options?
Excellent. You have walked right down my alley, and I thank you so much for that question. UWI, according to the Times Higher Education, UWI is in the first 1% of universities globally. So you are entering and becoming aligned to a university that is internationally recognized. And when it comes to research, as well as the quality of its program offerings, we are right up there with others internationally. Secondly, UWI is a regional institution. So it's a product that has excellent history. But you are also coming to a campus with a cadre of faculty who are well qualified, not just at the master's program level, but at the doctoral level. So we have a rich, qualified, competent cadre of faculty, but we also offer you a unique UWI experience, because at the end of the day, we are providing you with the tools and with the competence to go out there and practice making a difference, because our focus is not just providing you with the theoretical experience, but to provide you with a well-rounded academic and professional experience.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ocho, for coming and
My
sharing
pleasure.
that information with us. But before you go, I would really like you to tell us how can persons apply and find out more about your services.
Right. So anyone who is interested in applying can go on the UE website, look under undergraduate admissions, create your profile, and when you create your profile, then you can apply for the bachelor's in midwifery. We also have other programs, the bachelor's in nursing. So for individuals who are coming out of school and want to do nursing, yes, we offer the 4-year bachelor's in nursing. It is GATE approved. We also offer the post-RN BSCN programs. So if you want to specialize in nursing education, admin, school nursing, as well as oncology nursing, we offer that, as well as the master's in nursing, as nursing administration or nursing education, as well as the diploma in health visiting. So UE offers a range of professional courses, and all of them, you just go to the website, create your profile, and then search for the course and apply. It's that easy.
Viewers, it's that easy. Thank you so much, Dr. Ocho, for coming and sharing with us such pertinent information. And I hope that our viewers out there will take heed and really do apply. We have so many medical specialties that are in need of some more workers. So take advantage of the opportunity and be open. UE is offering to you excellent service. Take advantage of it. We now go over to some good stuff. We have 15-year-old Bishop student as the lone Tobagonian for the U.S. Embassy Youth Ambassador Program. And this was information released via the Newsday newspaper. Her name is Miss McCool, and she's 15 years old, and she's a student of Bishop's High School, as stated earlier. And as also stated earlier, she's the only Tobagonian in the U.S. Embassy Youth Ambassador Program of 2022. She's the daughter of Tyrone McCool and Safia Potts McCool. Congratulations to our 2022 Youth Ambassadors cohort. We have Mr. Kevin Liverpool as the mentor, and as well as some other popular names. Congratulations to all of them. Thank you. Stay tuned to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. I am Johnny Campbell, and coming up we have a representative from True Carnival. Stay tuned, and remember, share the life, share the life, share the life.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Susolines, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Exhale Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Get ready. Get ready. Forward presents Ultimate Praise 2. Featuring Blessed Messenger.
From the time we rise up a morning, me no play blind. Father got the wonders and sign. You fi find time, you fi find time.
Cause you're gonna reap what you sow. Whether good or evil.
Gerard Nurse.
And that's in the blood. Great Yankee and that's in the blood. Great
Donald Joe.
Let's turn my story into a song.
Nicky Rimbo.
So free. I can be true to me.
David Frank. Sound of Silence and Precious Regis. Tickets $100. Children $50. Ultimate Praise 2. Theme, we worship you. Sunday, July 31st, 7 p.m. Venue, RCCG, Garden of Peace, Lowlands, Tobago. For more detail, call 868-498-7764.
And just move on away.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning,
Welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. It's all about Youth Wednesdays. And I know we were speaking a lot about Tobago Carnival, but in the midst of all of that, we must find time for some good Christian fun. And coming to speak with us today, we have Forward the Band coming to speak to us about the Ultimate Praise Concert Part 2. So I would like to give you the opportunity now to introduce yourselves to our viewers.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Selena Campbell, and I am one of the vocalists from Forward the Band.
Alright, my name is Milio Providence. I am the musical director, aka the leader of the band. But I hold a lot of hats as well. I also play the keyboards. I do the management as well. So if you need to find out anything about Forward the Band, you can contact me.
First up, I would really like to know, how did this band come into being? Tell us about the inception of the band.
Okay, well, to be honest with you, it's just two musicians came together. We had a vision. We wanted to take the message of the Lord throughout the world, and we said that we do it through sound, and we selected the right people for this venture. And that's how it began. It began just with two musicians. We had our vision just to spread the word of the Lord through sound throughout the world.
All right, lovely. And I am seeing you all on TikTok and other social media platforms.
Yes.
What role do you think social media is playing in terms of promoting your band?
Well, to be honest with you, right now social media is really running the world. Right? TikTok, Instagram. just send them a few, well, Facebook as well. They are running the world right now. To be honest with you, I really think they took over from like normal online streaming. They are the real platforms to hit, to get what you want, advertisement-wise, and so forth.
All right, so I'm going over to Miss Campbell now. I know that you are one of the vocalists, a part of the band. Tell us about if you ever participated in any of the concerts held by the band, and how has it really impacted your development as a vocalist?
Okay, so I participated in a lot of the concerts. I've been in the band since about 2017, right? The band has really broadened my horizons. It allowed me to step out of my shell, because if anybody knows me, I'm very quiet and shy. And being in the band allowed me to gain more confidence and to be able to just step out there and do what I have to do on major platforms. I remember the opportunity I had to sing with an artist from Africa. That was amazing. So yeah, it really allowed me to just step out of my comfort zone and be more confident in front of persons.
Wow. I'm happy that you just shared your story, and I'm glad that you were able to step out of your comfort zone and grace many stages. And I heard you sing, and trust me, you have a very beautiful voice. But let's get directly into the specifics of the concert that you all are hosting on the 31st of July.
Alright, well, this is the second leg of Ultimate Praise. We had one before at Signal Hill Comprehensive about 2 years ago. Alright, it will be held at the RCCG Garden of Peace Church right in Lowlands, Tobago. Okay, some of the artists that we have featuring is Blessed Messenger, we have Jared Nurse, we have Nicky Rimper, we have Pastor Terrence Baines, right, or Assemblyman Terrence Baines, whatever you want to call it. We also have Donald Job, we also have Nicky Rimper, and many hosts of artists along with ourselves. The girls will be singing individually as well. She will have her own special.
Right.
Yes. Kimoy, we have Dominique, we have Kimberly, we have Sunil, we have, look, all the girls on the screen as well. Yes. All of these girls will be showcasing the talent Trisha Frederick. And we have on pan, we have Mr. Pepe, we have Frederick Lincoln, we have Kerry on trumpet. We have a lot of instrumentals as well. We have a lot of guest artists. So you come out and be present and let us have fun in the Lord.
Yes, let us have fun in the Lord.
Yes.
He is good and deserving of praise.
Yes.
Am I right?
Correct.
So tell us, how can persons get access to tickets and so forth?
All right. So tickets, $100 for adults, $50 for children. If you want to get tickets, you can contact me at 498-7764. You can contact any of the band members. All right. Tickets are available. Get it now because it's running out fast. So get it now. All right. If you want to get tickets, contact me quickly because they are running out. I will reiterate. All right. Just get your tickets.
They are running out. Can you remind us of the venue for this event?
RCCG Garden of Peace. RCCG Garden of Peace. That is Lowlands, Tobago, right next to the Chief Sec's residence.
You all are in the prime location.
Yes.
So before you go, I would really like to hear, where do you all see yourself as a band going forward? I was able to go on YouTube and see that you all have produced some music.
Yes.
So I want to commend you on that.
Right, yes.
But I really would like to know, what is the way forward with Forward the Band?
All right, we have a lot on the agenda. Basically, this is just the start of things. All right, as you can see, we have a lot of videos going around, circulating on social media, showcasing the talent that these girls have. Right? I took the time, I want to invest in them, so I want to take this even further. All right, we have our album launch coming up soon. I will give you guys more information on that. this is part of the venture to raise funds. Right? This venture is partly to raise funds to do the album, to finish the album. All right, so that's part of it. We want to do more recordings, more studio albums. You know, that is just part of it. So as we continue to push forward, we look forward to bringing out new music and uplifting the hearts of people in Tobago and the wider world. That is our main goal.
Yes, upliftment through
Yes,
music.
yes, yes.
I'm in full support of that. But you know what, I cannot bring this band on set and not have you serenade us a little bit. So I'm hoping to engage Miss Campbell here. I know you're a Campbell and Campbell people brave. I know you said you're shy, but that is we brave.
You pour this pot.
All right. Well, I'll take the opportunity to give a little bit of our latest release. That song is called When You Simmer. You can check it out on YouTube. Oh, let me clear my throat. My voice is a little dry.
You could do it.
Oh my gosh. The song starts like this. It goes like this. Stepping in mercy, walking in newness of life. I am a new man. The old me has withered and died. So Satan, just move out my way. I taken my blessing today. The sinner was controlling me. Oh, freedom is mine, yeah. Can't get me down. Feet off the ground. In him I'm sound. Aligned with his perfect will. His love abounds, full turn around. Lost now I'm found. Stepping in surety. So when you see me moving with God, don't tell me nothing, no. He never leave me on, and he never let me go. So when you see me moving forward, don't tell me nothing, no. He never leave me on, and he never let me go. That's it.
Yay! Listen, girl, you gave me a lot of inspiration. And sometimes I'm so sad because I said, God, why didn't you bless me with a melodious voice? But you can't have everything. But I want you to continue singing for the Lord and using your talents to glorify Him. Viewers, it's all about Ultimate Praise Part 2. Make sure to patronize this event and support our local gospel artists. They are doing it for the glory of God, and I think you should support them. We are a Christian community, so please go out on July the 31st and be a part of that Ultimate Praise, I would add, euphoric experience.
Lovely. Lovely.
So viewers, stay tuned to the Tobago Updates morning show. Coming up, we have Tobago Note.
This piece of property at number 1 Lambo Orkinscure is currently under quarantine. That's due to the sighting of the giant African snail in the area. The snail species has been contained, but the area will be under surveillance for several years to ensure complete eradication. This is one of 3 reported locations in Tobago where the giant African snail has been sighted. The other 2 areas were successfully treated, but ongoing eradication efforts suggest that the presence of this pest is a serious concern for the public. Casey Marie Boucher Koon, Plant Protection Specialist in the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, explains why.
It's very prolific. That means it multiplies quickly and makes large amounts of young. In addition to that, it also is the vector of the rat lungworm, which can cause meningitis in humans and other ailments in domestic animals like dogs. The giant African snail, once the population begins to explode, easily becomes a public nuisance, as we have observed in the sister isle Trinidad.
The The giant African snail is a deep reddish brown with cream and yellow longitudinal stripes along the shell. This snail eats more than 500 species of plants, including lettuce, pawpaw, and various herbs, so it can easily hamper the agricultural sector. Those who traverse between Trinidad and Tobago should be especially mindful. Carefully check the undersides of vehicles, since the snail can attach itself to the undercarriage. Casey Marie also has some advice on the kind of pesticides that can be used to eliminate the pest.
We ask that you take the additional precaution of treating your planting material with the active ingredient thiodicarb. This is a pesticide that is effective at killing snails and eggs. This pre-treatment before returning to the port to come back to Tobago will help us 100-fold in preventing Tobago from becoming overrun by giant African snail.
There are other methods of treating with this pest. The plant protection specialist tells us how.
If you should encounter the giant African snail, you should cover your hands, whether it be gloves or a plastic bag, before handling them, and place them in a salt or bleach solution. And that mixture is 2 cups of bleach or 2 cups of salt to 1 gallon of water. And you will drown them in that solution for a minimum of 24 hours. After the snails are dead, the best means of disposal is to contain them and burn them.
Eradicating the giant African snail is everyone's business, so early reporting and intervention is extremely important. This will help the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development eliminate the presence and threat of this snail on the island. If you're interested in joining the eradication team or want more information about the giant African snail, call the Plant Protection Unit at 482-7528.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
It's 8:02 a.m. and you are viewing Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. I am Aliyah Holder, and in this segment, as we know that October Tobago Carnival is approaching in October, we have the band True Carnival, of which I am a part of the show. So I've been very biased by doing this interview, but that's no problem. So on set we have the Chief Project Officer, Miss Kenorian Smith, and the Managing Director and Band Leader, Shanaria Tilla, here with us. Good morning to you guys, and how are you?
Good morning. We are tired.
Yeah, the band launch was yesterday, ready to sleep.
So, to get straight into things, tell us, who or what is True Carnival? Like, anybody.
Don't all rush at once. True Carnival is an experience that we are bringing to Tobago. It's definitely a what, but if it had to be a who, it would be a she, and she would be a bacchanalist. We're bringing something very unique to Tobago. That is why we call the band True, the really unique experience. And True is just going to be something amazing. True is just going to be something that you want to be a part of. True is guided by 100% Tobagonian talent in terms of from our staffing or committee members, or approach, or content, or food, or feelings. True is True.
And I know that the band launch was last night. Could you give us the lineup of the costuming from designers, what they were in terms of name?
Like from last night? Ken?
So last night what we portrayed half of our costumes. We featured Tobago's very own Dale Angus out of Abeje. She did what would be a modern version of a Perio Grenade. We call it Perio Jolie. We also had Wyatt Things, Akima George Thomas. She did an iridescent piece. It was called Sugar Jab, which would be the modern version of a Jambalasi. We also had Uptown Jammet by Camelo Couture. And that section, hello! Very much Jammet.
So the sections that we didn't see, tell us, what are those and who designed them?
Well, I'm not going to tell you who designed it until we released it. But we could tell you what the sections that are coming are, which will be the typical characters that you're missing. So Damarine,
Midnight Rubber.
Midnight Rubber. Yeah, so the intention was to kind of pull all of the traditional characters that you typically see, that Tobago is known for, and then put variations on them that we could present to the international world. So whilst we're bringing in international masqueraders, the intention is to kind of find a way to
incorporate
teach,
culture,
educate. Yes, you know.
So what is different in food that you wouldn't find in
anywhere else? The experience. But we took a very simplistic approach to what we wanted to bring costume-wise. We brought the quality, but we understand that Tobago is a new market for that kind of carnival. So the intention is to find a way to kind of do that tourism-style marketing to bring persons in and still provide opportunities for Tobagonians. So what we kind of did was work on the experience first and the costumes after, but still ensuring that they're both on the same level of, you know, production. So the kind of costumes you would get are costumes that you would feel are new to the Tobagonian soil, but are very across the international world. However, using materials and designs that are very affordable. So you still get to feel like you're on any carnival road whilst right in Tobago, in Scarborough, where it's going by your groceries, you know. So other than that, like Kenoran could tell you on the experience that we plan to bring, from the bar to the food to the DJ.
You're not ready. Y'all are not ready for what we have to offer on the road, hands down. Untouchable in terms of what our experience will be. Our sponsors are there, ready to work. Campari, White Oak, they are ready. We have trucks, we have music, we have the best DJs, the best artists on the road. Vibes, we have that. You don't even need to come with any. We have that for sure.
We know that Renlim and the Renlival experience is consistently touring the world in terms of carnival. So what we did was pull a piece of every aspect of carnival and then made it very Tobago-esque. So we used elements of Miami, we used elements of Jamaica, we used elements of Trinidad, and kind of created a road experience that, to be honest, you really have to play to see. And if you don't play, you just won't see, and that's really on you.
For us, it's not just the road experience as well. We are offering the Revel and Rest complete package.
Yes.
So I know that persons, as you touched on Renlim and Renlival, I know that persons mix them up. So could you explain, is that Renlim Entertainment is different from True is True a unique brand by itself, or Renlim and True comes together?
Okay, so True Carnival is the baby of Renlim Entertainment. Renlim is a brand that exists on its own. True Carnival is a band that exists on its own. One is a band, the other is a brand. They are both created and owned by me, so they can be confused as the same project or same thing, but in essence, they technically exist separately. The experience of the both of them just must always and shall always be of good quality.
So I want to correct, as you said, by me. So we don't know who is by me. True Carnival and Renlim Entertainment is owned by Shanaria and Tilla. You know, it's not by me. But
True Carnival is owned by us.
Yeah.
True Carnival is for Tobago and by Tobago.
True, that sounds good. In terms of food and the authenticity of Tobago as it pertains to food on the road, what are we getting? Are we getting the ground provision and all the nice
you know
stuff?
You know that.
Yes. On the menu there are elements of traditional. So we do have that ground provision style thing, or breakfast is also a very local breakfast, bake, bourgeois, you know, the typical things, but elevated, of course, in typical True fashion. I mean, duh.
Also tell the viewers, what are the price ranges and how do you sign up to become a part of True Band?
Well, we actually plan to release all of our information for registration within this week, now that we have started the launch process. We actually have a very exciting registration week coming up, so stay tuned for that. Because we don't want to do anything. We don't want to do anything too simple. We think Tobago deserves a carnival season that starts now. We know typically Trinidad Carnival starts in July, that spans to December, and then we have all of January to February doing that. We want to mimic that model. So from now that we have launched, I actually can't say it here because we plan to launch a flyer today. We have a road trip coming up again. Tobago knows what road trip is, and this is a true road trip, which would be the really unique experience of road trip. So we actually are starting our countdown to the road on the 7th, on the 7th of August, and after that we're celebrating consistently with very unique methods of registration. So because of the fact that we're trying to be very price relative and also kind of very affordable to the Tobagonian market, we have very unique methods of your payment process. I can give you one of the examples. Like we have a My Pay Monday, which is where you come in and you basically pay what you want, what you think you have, to start the process of holding a costume for you. We have an entire day designed exclusively to come sit down and find the costume of your choice, because we know that we presented one era of models or one style, but we have the ability for our designers to adjust any costume for your liking. You can sit down with, and it's called brunch, Bandhouse brunch. You come in and eating with us, talking to us, and building the costume of your dreams. Like what experience you can ask for.
At the end of this interview, tell the viewers, social media handles, how do I get to see everything from notifications, everything through Carnival?
So on Instagram, we're at True Carnival 868. So that's at True Carnival 868. We're True Carnival on Facebook, and you can stay updated on everything we have to offer right there and then.
All right. Team who?
Team True!
Right. And that was your interview with True Carnival by Shanaria Taylor and Canarian Smith. We'll be back. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Come, there we go to Tobago, that paradise, bung by Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come to Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say,
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back, and you are viewing Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates morning show. Tani, how was your morning this morning?
I would say that I really enjoyed my morning, and the interviews this morning, I think they were a mixture of, you know, some information in terms of the educational aspect. We have the cultural aspect coming out as you interviewed representatives from True Carnival, and then we had the gospel music in the mix. So I think it was a nice blend, and I'm hoping that our viewers enjoyed it as much as I did. How about you?
My morning was very interesting. I enjoyed the nice dynamic of the blend also, and I found it very weird, but very nice as well that we had gospel and carnival on the same day for the same show. But you know, that's how life is. So I would say that this morning was a good morning for us. So yeah, now we head over to Good Morning Tobago with Candice Jackson. So remember to
share the light, share the light, share the light.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Na 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denasia. Let's go, go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago
Chief Secretary Watson Duke said plans are in place. Sorry, I think that is the wrong thing that I pulled up. Alright, so my apologies, folks. Just technology just giving me a little problem this morning, but senior residents were removed from a home yesterday after investigations revealed startling violations, according to a release from the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection. There were breaches of the Private Hospital Act and found conditions of the seniors were contacted, and the division made arrangements for therapeutic counseling and medical and social support for seniors and their families. Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Officer of the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, Louis Lewis, has resigned. Chairman of the board, Alicia Edwards, confirmed his resignation at a press conference yesterday. She stated that Lewis, who came from St. Lucia, experienced difficulty adjusting to life in Tobago after accepting the position in 2018. Even though Lewis opted out of his contract early, Edwards said he left on good terms with the board. She credited Lewis with the development of Cal and the transformation of Tobago's tourism marketing strategy. In the meantime, the board is sourcing a new CEO and hopes to fill that position by December of this year. And in some news from Trinidad, the Airports Authority intends to reduce greenhouse emissions with the construction of a $12 million solar park sponsored by the European Union. Speaking at the sun turning ceremony, Minister of Energy Stuart Young said the project is a step in the right direction because it will reduce the airport's energy bill and carbon footprint. He added that the project signals the start of the country's transition from non-renewable to green sources of energy. Meanwhile, EU Ambassador Peter Cavendish stated the solar park aims to reduce TNT's energy consumption by 50%. And that was your news in 90 seconds. All right, okay, so we're going to go to a quick break and we'll be right back.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorns Place with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorns Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Tobago update. Na 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denise.
All right, well, welcome back to Good Morning Tobago, and I just want to apologize for that little bit of technical difficulties. Now, today is Wednesday, 27 July 2022, and today marks 32 years since the attempted coup of 1990, where the Jamaat al-Muslimin attempted to take over the country and attack the Red House, attack parliamentarians, and most importantly, well, they did not succeed, but it is a day that has a stain on our history. Now, what followed was 6 days of insurrection, and there was a whole lot of things that happened during that time. Now, we know that it's an event that sometimes some people like to forget, but it is something that we need to remember and we need to learn from so that we do not have those things being repeated. Now, during that time, we had the very famous statement from our own Tobago-born Prime Minister and President, Arthur N.R. Robinson. We know of the attack with full force when the insurgents, asked him to have the army stand down. He said, no, these are murderers and torturers, attack with full force. Now, I just want to read, before we get into our interview this morning with Ms. Abby Taylor, and I'm going to tell you why she is on, the presiding officer, Abby Taylor. I'm going to tell you why she is on with us. But before that, I'm just going to read a couple quick inserts. Now, first of all, this is from a biography from Mr. N.R. Robinson himself. And on his account, or at least some of his reactions to what happened. And it goes, on Friday 27 July 1990, the trigger was released. It was during the debate generated by my speech on the Tresco scandal that Mozambique invaded the parliament. The first time, and perhaps the only time I felt humiliated, was when the Mozambique first entered the Red House and the treatment I received in the first few minutes. They attempted to humiliate me by pantsing me and my Minister of Justice and National Security, Selwyn Richardson. They also forced a rag into my mouth with a pistol, almost choking me. I was told afterwards that Emmanuel Hussein demanded that they remove the objects, as I could have choked to death. I recall the excruciating pain that I felt as the ropes on my hands seemed to tighten even further when I moved from one position to another. It was quite clear to me that my abductors were well trained. And of course, that's just part of his account. And I'm also going to read to you another little account, and this is from Mr. Dennis McCormy, and he is one of our veteran broadcasters. And if you were around in the time of 1990, you would also know that he was that voice that was on Radio Trinidad, you know, at least updating the nation on what's happening. But he was also trapped for those 6 days in Radio Trinidad. And this was just part of his account. Now, night had fallen. It was well past 7 p.m. and for the first time in several years, there was no newscast. The 7 p.m. news would undoubtedly have been prepared at 6 p.m., but there was no staff to produce it, and the news would have been irrelevant anyway. There was still no word from our NBS superiors, and none of the people we had attempted to reach was available. I wandered out onto the third floor balcony to watch the murky haze of fire, smoke, and dust filling the night sky. Sporadic gunfire could be heard above the noise and confusion of people running from one looted shop to another. It was sickening to watch, and the sight of Baka's marauding revolutionary forces filled me with sadness and revulsion, and I felt quite alone. Now, of course, that was just two accounts of, you know, of people that were very instrumental. Of course, one from our own Prime Minister and President Arthur N.R. Robinson, and from our veteran broadcaster Dennis McCormy. And it speaks to that trauma that these two men, as well as many others, faced during that time, especially on that Friday. And to speak to us a little bit on that, we have Presiding Officer Miss Abby Taylor. Welcome and good morning to you.
Good morning, Candice. How are you?
I am good. And okay, I first of all want to get your reaction to those two accounts that I just read.
Well, 1990. I was only 5 at the time. So, you know, my memory of what happened is clouded by, you know, what I would describe as childhood ignorance, because I think we in Tobago were kind of isolated from what was going on in Trinidad at that time.
Yes.
I think the only thing I could really remember was there were a lot of army presence in the streets. I remember playing with my best friend an evening and an officer telling me to go back inside. And I also remember Dominic Calipasad's very soothing and calming voice while these broadcasts were being made. I mean, 1990 is the perfect example of the most undemocratic act Trinidad and Tobago has ever faced. And I hope that it never happens again. But it's something for us to definitely remember as a student of history. I would have had the privilege at one point in time to interview Mr. Baka before he passed, and you know, his account for some of the incidences that happened during those 6 days tell a different story.
Oh, certainly. I mean, and even though we had a commission of inquiry in 2010, there's still a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah.
And you know, when Baka passed last year, you know, one of the things that went through everybody's heads is that a lot of what really happened went to the grave with him.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, but we're also here to speak about a special wreath-laying ceremony that's going to be taking place today at James Park.
Yes.
And it is being organized by the Assembly Legislature.
Yes. We thought it best to commemorate today in light of everything that happened 32 years ago. it's important for us to remember, because this was an attack against our democracy. And if we were, for just one moment, to define what democracy is, and I read from Webster, it's a system of government by which the whole population or whole eligible members of state typically elected through representatives. So one could ask, you know, why did he choose to attack the Red House? Why did he choose to attack the Parliament?
Why Parliament?
Why Parliament? You understand? And it's because of this definition you see why he would have chosen to attack the Parliament, because it's that one place where you have the collective body of representatives present at one point in time. So it was not just an attack against the people, it was an attack against the system that protects us, our democratic system, because remember, he also stated when he came on air, I think the day after July 27, he said that he is now the government.
Yes.
And that in itself is very undemocratic, because nobody elected him as the government. So it's something for us to remember. I mean, our history is very important to us. And hopefully the acts of democracy could be taught in school one day, and we could start to unpack this very multi-dimensional act that happened during the 1990s.
I want you to also tell me about, you know, that the assembly making this decision to have that wreath-laying ceremony, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, this is in conjunction with Deputy Chief Secretary, Mr. Watson Duke, right?
Well, it's a function being put on by the Assembly Legislature, because I think it speaks directly to what we represent. We are the seat of democracy here on the island. And can you just for one moment imagine if a coup happened in Tobago, what would that mean for us?
Certainly.
And I think it's important for us not to only understand our history, but understand our legislative history as well. And the stance that Mr. Robinson took when he said attack with full force, that was a stand for democracy, and that is something that should be taught, that our Tobago heroes, you know, are so fervent in our drive for protecting not only Tobago, but for protecting our country, that he was willing to die for our democracy. I think that speaks a lot. So that's something that should be commemorated, our Tobago heroes.
I mean, and then, I mean, one of the reasons why I brought this book here for to read a little bit is just, I think it's important for us, even though, because you were 5 when it happened, I was only about 2 years old when it happened, you know? I mean, there's a whole generation, perhaps 2 generations of people within our country that don't know exactly what happened. And there's a lot of people also that's walking around with that trauma. And then even though in Tobago, people were kind of sort of separated from what happened, it wasn't the same, they didn't have the same experiences, right? You know, it's still something that we need to remember in terms, especially because of Mr. Robinson's role. You know, he stood up, like you said, to defend our nation at a time where, you know, we almost fell into an Islamic state.
Remember too that this was an attack against a system, and it also attacked the institution that protect the system. You had the bombing of the police station. You had the attack on the Parliament itself. They bombed Port of Spain, the capital of Trinidad and Tobago, where the majority of our government institutions were and still are at this time. And then you have to take into consideration the media, which is the Fourth Estate. They took over what was the only television station at that time. And you have to, all of that has to be examined as to why go so far. Because I was thinking this morning, you know, why attack the Parliament? Why not wait until Mr. Robinson was probably in his office and attack him? But this was a clear, defiant act against our democracy.
And even when, you know, things are not going so well in the country for some people, and because that was what was happening with Jamaat al-Muslimin, there was many things that they were not happy about. There were many economic challenges faced by Trinidad and Tobago during that time. And so the coup the attempted coup, I should say, was just a reaction to that and their retaliation to what was happening in the country. But even though we in the country do not agree with decisions that are being made by the government, we should not ever be in a position.
It shouldn't reach the point where we should have to hold the government at large for something like that. And I think the next question we should ask is, how do we strengthen our democracy? And I would have hoped that, I hope that, we would have made strides in strengthening our democracy over the years since then. I know at the Assembly Legislature, one of the things we plan to implement is the petitioning, where because democracy reflects so much on your representatives and the relationship you have with your representative, one of the mechanisms that's afforded to us in the Standing Orders book is petitions, where persons could come to the legislature and petition to their members for issues they want to have resolved or issues they want to have debated in the House. So it's not that that division between the representative and the citizenry. I don't think that's what democracy represents. It's supposed to be an institution that is protected, that protects our citizenry by the representatives that we elect to represent us.
Yes.
And if we could make strides in making that relationship a little better, I think that in itself strengthens democracy. And we plan to do that here at the Assembly Legislature.
All right, so I want you to tell me a little bit about that wreath-laying ceremony that's going to happen this morning. Just the details for the public that are viewing and, that want to be there.
So it starts at 10. It's at James Park. I don't know if anybody forgets where that is, but it's uptown, opposite course. It's right in front of the Assembly Legislature. And we have invited some persons who were past parliamentarians from Tobago. So we invited Mr. Benedict Armstrong and Mr. Sanford Calendar. We also would have invited past assemblymen who served during that period as well. So we invited Claude Job and Claude Benoit, Mr. George Stanley Beard, and one of the persons who would be laying the wreath today, well, two important, Ms. Pamela Nicholson and a representative from the Robinson family, Mr. Ellis Robinson.
Great.
Yes.
Will we be hearing anything from these people? Would there be any sort of speeches, any sort of information being shared at that ceremony?
We don't have that in the program. However, the media is free to ask any question they feel like.
Certainly. And then as we are speaking here, we're also seeing a walk by Mr. Nelson, David Nelson, and he was a young man in the army during the time of the attempted coup. And then he started doing this walk annually to bring awareness to what happened and to spark that memory and to, let people to just stop and reflect. It's not to celebrate what happened, but to stop and reflect on what happened so that it does not happen again. And, Ms. Taylor, I just want you to tell me a little bit about making sure that we know and we understand what really, well, we may not understand all the details, but at least understand the idea of what happened then to make sure that we don't let it happen again.
Well, as I said, before I touch on that, I really appreciate Mr. Nelson's work every year.
Yes.
I think that in the whole context of things, democracy, patriotism, and nationalism ties into the whole thing. And I think one of the ways in which we could ensure that something like this never happened again is change the way in which we represent our people, change the way we have relationship with the citizenry, because at the end of the day, that's what the whole system of democracy is affording us.
Certainly.
A good representation and a good representative style. And I think that we have made movements in bettering the way in which representatives speak and have relationships with their citizenry and their representees. I know that now public consultation is a thing where at least the voice of the people are being heard. And I think that's appreciated by the public as well. So I think that we have made strides over the last 32 years. Hopefully, this would never happen to us again. But still, we have to remember those very 6 dark days, what we have chosen to call the 6 darkest days in our democracy, how it happened, why it happened, and why it should never happen again.
And then it happened within our country that was not very old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and as we're talking about those 6 last days, I kind of want to end off with just reading a little account from the Trinidad Express. And this is, okay, this was an article written following the 6 days, and just one of the reporters going in to just view what our parliament looked like. So you could really understand it wasn't just the one day, it wasn't just Mr. Robinson being attacked and shot. It wasn't just his Minister of Security beaten. It wasn't just
people dying.
Yes, Minister Leo Devines. It wasn't his death alone. But this is just kind of an account of what some of the people, because remember, people were also held hostage at TTT. People were not allowed to leave from Radio Trinidad as well. You know, it was a crazy time. But on the members of parliament desks lay briefcases, scattered documents, cigarette lighters, shoes, dirty glasses, and soiled clothing. The Minister of Oropuch, Trevor Sudama's seat, there was a pair of shoes, one side winged by a bullet. The stench of urine was overpowering here, and the filled glass of water and jugs, filled glasses and water jugs bore testimony to how the insurgents relieved themselves. The chamber appeared to be riddled with bullets, and there were gaping holes in some places. Room after room, corridor after corridor, stairway after stairway, the destruction was complete and continued onto the ground floor of the southern side, where there was another body was found against the stairway. Scattered glass and gaping holes were a grim reminder of the gun battle fought between the Muslimin and the army for 6 days at the historic building which once housed this country's high court. And this is just one account.
An excerpt, yes. I mean, when you look back at the video and you analyze what would have been going through parliamentarians at the time, it's really unfortunate.
And sometimes it brings tears to your eyes, like when you read accounts like this, because, you know, nobody in our country, no matter what, should have to be going through something like this, especially these people who hold the seat. You may not agree with your ministers, your government, your assemblymen, whoever they be. You may not agree with them, but this was not something that they deserved.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
All right,
so I hope to see you there today. No, I think it's important for us to remember 1990. I mean, sometimes I listen back. For me to understand history, sometimes I listen it through old calypsos.
Yes.
And I think yesterday I was listening to David Rudder, Under the Crimson Moon, I want to believe.
Yes.
And then you have a different perspective, because, you know, most of our situations that happen, calypso is a vehicle that tells our story. And as a young person, I never understood that song. And yesterday I was like, oh, that's what that means. You have a different perspective. So, I mean, our history is told through many different mediums. And I think that it's time that we start putting these things in our schools for our children to not lose sight of who we are and what we went through to become a nation.
All right, great. And that's just a wonderful way to end this interview with Presiding Officer Abby Taylor. And of course, viewers, if you are interested, there will be that wreath laying ceremony happening today at 10 a.m. at James Park. So go on and be there, right? So, and of course, Tobago Updates will be carrying it live, so you can follow on our social media pages. So get connected with us on Facebook, on YouTube, on our website, tobagoupdates.com. So you can view for yourself, and you can remember together with the Assembly Legislature that those 6 dark days of our nation's history. We'll be right back after the break.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard.
I tell them never ever worry if your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry, don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry if your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry if sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry if times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
National borders, our first step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
There's a taste in the air everywhere. Feel the vibe 'cause it's something to share. Smooth, rich and creamy, you'll find it right here. Makes you smile, relax a while, it's fun and good cheer. Ooh, enjoy every scoop. Ooh, every taste will get you hooked. We have flavors that you love, a combination special. Come along, enjoy our treats. This is Uncle Pete's.
It's a different type of thing down there. What? And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes for breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti served with chokers, buljoil and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Na 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denise.
And welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. And even though July 27th it's a dark day within our nation's history, it's also a very bright day in the sense that it is the day that our dear Lord Nelson was born.
Oh boy.
And we have him, and we have the privilege of having him on set this morning. And a special happy birthday to you from the Tobago Updates team, because you are turning 90 today. 91 today, sorry.
Add another one to the 90.
And you are aging very, very well.
Well, I can't tell you about you, but I'm looking at the camera. You do beautiful.
Oh my goodness, she's going to have me very speechless today on set. I'm already seeing this throughout this whole interview. Yes, so and I mean, there's something also very special about Mr. Lord Nelson.
Mr. Lord Nelson, you could call me Papa.
Well, Papa, Nello, all these names.
Right, that fits today. All these.
Yeah, because it's celebration mode. Yeah. And he's celebrating not just because today is his birthday, but he also has another birthday.
I have two. Registered birthday. You understand? 29. So I can fake today and celebrate the 29 or do it backwards. I have that privilege. I am the only person that I know have two birthdays.
We should all be like you. But then again, we all can't be as special as you are.
Thank you very much for that too.
All right, so okay, we are here now. We'll be talking about a special concert coming up at the end of the month. It was actually this weekend for Lord Nelson, for Nello, for Papa, right? And Mr. John Arnold, who is the chairman of Friends of Lord Nelson. Mr. Arnold is also here with us. But Mr. Arnold, can you tell us a little bit about that concert that we have coming up?
Yeah, well, I mean, this concert is like the creme de la creme for the week. So Lord Nelson has his birthday today. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Thank you.
But he also has a birthday on Friday, which we will also say happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
See,
and then on Saturday, we all come together at Queen's Hall for the mega concert. So Lord Nelson is going to do the second half. He's doing all his hits. And in the first half, we have a number of other celebrants. We have people like Oscar B., Ronnie McIntosh, Devon Seal, Signal Hill alumni. And all of them would be doing at least one or two selections from his repertoire.
Wow.
Their own interpretation of that as part of the celebration. The whole celebration that night is just $300. I call that paltry, but it's a good contribution for a good evening of entertainment. We have Errol Ince, music makers, as the big orchestra for the night, and we also have comedian Errol Fabian, who will kind of, knit the show together.
Of course.
So far the response has been astounding, and we just hope that we can tell everybody, if you don't have a ticket yet, then you don't have a chance to see the living legend.
And this is happening at Queen's Hall.
Queen's Hall, Saturday night, 7:30. And up to this morning, I got calls already trying to figure out if there's a VVIP. And I said to them, everybody is VVIP. So you can come to the show and be there.
And at 91, Nello. Tell me not to call you Lola, so to call you Nello.
Yes.
And Papa, right?
Yes.
At 91, you are still going strong. You are so full of life and you're so vibrant. What is your secret?
Oh, God, tell them. I don't know. I believe in goodness, happiness, love, peace. I'm saying the same thing that I'm saying now. It's really happening to me. So, I can't really say what it really is. It's so many things. It's people like you. It's people like Mr. Arnold, John Bennett down there, and you're listening to me.
I listen to you every word.
And there people like Odessa. There are people like, oh, Nello, I thought they say your dad. I say you're talking to a jumbie now. Humor. Goodness.
Certainly.
And that keeps me going. Make me ready. I see yesterday, today, and I go forward. So you see, it's like what it is. It's so many things that I'm happy and thank God. Thank God in God's goodness. That makes me what you say. Oh, you look good. I say you look better.
Yes, certainly. And we really thank God for keeping you alive and for preserving you for all this time. Now, you're somebody who also says that you would keep singing until the day you die.
Yes, I'm not going to die. That's another thing. I'm not thinking about dying. I'm a Korean War veteran. And I could live after that to say, well, thank you, God. That means I'm not worrying about the dying part. I'm just worrying about living and going ahead and making people say, like you say, you know you look good.
Right. As you continue to want to perform until whenever,
yes.
Are we going to be having more hits coming out of you?
I have so many hits. I just played a couple hits. One that really is today too, and he never heard, and it's before time. So it's like in you, it keeps flowing, going. So you can't say it's one thing, it's many things. I have actually composed so many that right now you say, what is your new thing? I would talk about Pest, if you listen to that. It's another thing to Marshall Montano.
Yes.
All that still me. There's a little bit of me in all that you hear around you.
And as you mentioned that, I mean, yesterday we had Marshall Montano, his mother actually launched a book on him.
Well, you want to hear something just about that?
Yes.
As you just mentioned that I am part of that book.
Yes.
It has to be in there. If it's not there, the
You
book
are, because he mentioned that, you are the one that, took him on the tour to France with too young to soca.
Yeah, too young to put him on my shoulder. Plenty people all the way down here. Me too. And he's right there. Put him on my shoulder singing Too Young to Soca. That was in France.
Yeah.
Yeah, in France. Sweden, France, Scandinavia. I've been around.
Yes.
And I'm still going around. Thanks for you too, eh? You helping you do all that. You're carrying that load. What else could I say?
And tell me a little bit about, just bringing, inspiring our young people. Every generation you have inspired in music to just be what it is today.
I am part of it. Like I just said, there's a little bit of me in all that's happening now and all that is to come. Even my attire, I use a big word, my clothes, they can't match that. It's already done. You can't buy it in the store. They made my niece a designer. So I put things there that they could copy now and do within them. And just like Mr. Arnold will tell you, there's so many things about me that's coming out, the cloud, raining down, that I'm happy and I'm proud to be a part of this wonderful country.
Of Trinidad and Tobago.
And today, Trinidad and Tobago. We have so many things that they didn't know yet, and it's coming out. We don't have to mimic anyone. We don't have to mimic no country. We have what we could deliver to them.
Certainly.
I'm telling, and make them copy from us. You don't have to hide it. Do it like Papa. Let it go. Swing it. Shake it up. Do it. It's a pleasure to be here this day.
And it's such a pleasure to have you. And Mr. Arnold, I just want you to put into context the reason why we're having this concert, the reason why we're celebrating this wonderful contribution to our culture.
Yeah, I mean, the Friends of Lord Nelson was formed in 2019. And basically, as a company, it's a non-profit organization. We basically want to be able to preserve the legacy of this icon. So we have a number of projects in the future. We did plan this concert almost 2 years ago,
yes,
right? But of course, the pandemic, we kept postponing. And so we did a lot of work online. We did several episodes with him talking about his music, the history of the songs, how we composed it. We did all that online. And we had a really good following on the Friends of Lord Nelson channel. And so early this year, we decided, do or die, we're going to have this concert. And so we decided to do it around his birthday. And that's how we ended up with the concert this year.
And tell me what about the importance of making sure we celebrate people like Lord Nelson?
Totally on board. I mean, something we've been saying. I know that nationally there has been an attempt by a ministry to try and see if they can celebrate living legends, meaning not just when people die, we give praise, but while they're living, start to honor them. And I've seen similar moves here too, to do the same, which is good, commendable. And I think that's something that we have to continue to do. You mentioned Marshall Montano in the book, yes. King of Soca. It's so good to know that that is happening, that you have memoirs coming out, because this adds to the what we call the academe, so that it becomes something available for people who are doing papers and research. This book can be, and we will certainly want to do one on somebody like Lord Nelson, definitely.
So, Nello, looking back on your career, and what could you tell us about what are some of the high points in your career? What are the things that just make you sit back and just, love what you do and love the impact that it had on our people?
Like I said to you, I'm a war veteran.
Yes.
In those days, we actually had little parties, and I was like a star boy, mimicking calypso, like Mellow, the Duke of Iron, Duke. In those days, they have the 45s with a hole in the middle. Yeah. So it was only Sparrow, me. I hear that. I loved that. So I started mimicking him and became that person. Like I was singing, and when you say, sing Sparrow, I wave my hand because I am the man, But it eventually happened that he came to America, to New York, and I was doing a show where he was in the audience, and he came up. And when they're saying, sing Sparrow, sing Sparrow, sing, I'm there, I'm wailing. This man come up and say, you're going to ruin my show. And he started saying, Dear Sparrow. I was singing that. He gave me the mic and he said, but wait, you singing like me? And he gave me the mic. Then I would know what the mighty Sparrow is and who he was at that time. Made me start to think now about, you could sing like him and you are like him. So one of these things I would tell you now, and for the world to know, is because of the mighty Sparrow that I became, where you see, a Calypsonian. I was no Calypsonian. I mimicked Calypsonians and became what I am now and dwell with them. And if you could call Calypso and you don't mention my name, then you don't know nothing about Calypso.
I'm telling you, he's leaving me speechless this morning, I mean, it's such a wonderful conversation that we're having here. And I mean, I also want to ask you now, we're celebrating you. And how do you feel about, being recognized within your home country in this sort of way?
You can't even go there. I'm going to tell you a story. In years gone by, they dubbed me a foreigner.
Oh, my.
They say, born here. We don't know him. I change what happened in Queens all day in the Savannah. Say it's only for nationals. And I am non-national. So Short Shot, Swallow and all that could get in the piece too. But because they dubbed me a foreigner, and I could have licked them up in the Savannah was bad, baby. You could beat Gala. I mean, you couldn't beat anything. They just pushed me down. So I'm so hurt. I tell myself I don't want to come back to Trinidad and Tobago, that place ain't good. And live. Now, me, you hear Trinidad and Tobago, the land of the hummingbirds? I got the hummingbird gold. Can you imagine that? So who wasn't there dead or badly wounded? Say, I'm sorry, I said that, Nello. I said, you don't have to worry about it. I'm flying high. I am a hummingbird. So I have lots of things to make me feel happy, welcome, and thankful that I'm home. And they have to look upon me. Look upon me and look and say, that is the man. They call foreigner. You don't know foreigner. The real, I am good. I'm better than good in the name of God. Thank you too. And thank Trinidad and Tobago. I feel good. I'm home. They can call me another name. They can't call me foreigner no more. I made sure.
And I'm seeing Mr. Arnold. I don't think I've seen Mr. Arnold laugh and smile so much. And Mr. Arnold, just quickly as we're getting ready to wrap up, I just want you to tell us how has Lord Nelson inspired you in your musical career, and I mean your passion.
Nello. In the last 5 years we've become much closer, and he has worked with me in the choir, and it was like he says, it was kind of magical. Once we started to hook up, we kind of found a kind of place that we both rested in. And since then, I think, all his music I've always loved. All his music, it's different, you know? And I just met the producer who was talking about the various artists that have been so influential. And he named him as one of them, as one of the key people who happens to be the pillar of soca music. He's one of the pillars of soca music.
Now what they say who did it? They don't even know what soca is. It's soul calypso. And Clive Bradley, and I invented something that nobody up to now can figure it out. And I have the recipe, and I have the hookup for it, and I ain't telling nobody until they give me something to make me give them back. That's the truth. Who they say is so kind of it is not so it go. I have the magic. And if you dig my stories and my lyrics and the tunes, you will see it's in there.
So we'll have to have a book called The Papa of Soca.
I know. I will be the first one in line for this book because I'm sitting here and I'm just like, wow. I am just blown away. And he was such a delight. You really are such a delight to have with us. And I know the viewers are probably really, just enjoying this conversation this morning.
Let me get in there quick. I don't want, when I leave here, I'm saying, you hear lie? That is a lie. That's a great Amian said, yes, I am. Lord Robert Alfonso birthday. And on his birthday, you're taking pictures again. Look at me.
No, but I really wanted to add this, Candice. Yesterday we were driving to go to another interview. And what struck me, everywhere we passed, along Grange, Montervin, Back Bay, coming on by the golf course, he was telling me all these stories about the history, about some of the trees, even when they were small. And I was amazed at his memory.
Wow, yes.
And I told him, I said, God has really blessed you. At 91, I really want to ask God to make me like you. No, serious.
And that's
really
why
reach there.
I want him to be better than me. I want you to be better than me. Don't be like me. Go over more. Meet some more.
And that's why we probably need to write books, because I don't think one book will be enough to cover that 91 years of knowledge that is residing within you.
And I think the opportunity to see him live performing those hits is something everybody should take a chance and do. Coming Saturday at Queen's Hall, I don't know what to tell them.
They just need to come.
They just need to
be there. So, come on, such a blessing. We are truly blessed to have Lord Nelson still around with us. I can't repeat, but yes, we are really blessed, and we need to continue celebrating him because, you are very monumental, and it's, And I think, you want to say something else?
No. I was just saying that was my main thing there.
Thank you.
Blessings from God.
Blessing of my heart. Thank God. And everybody who see and who hear would know the truth. God bless you. God bless all of you.
Thank you, Papa. Happy birthday again.
Yes, certainly. Happy birthday. We are going to be celebrating you. We're going to be celebrated for you for the next few days, and especially at that concert on Saturday. And I don't know if you want as we're closing off the interview, is there anything you want to say? Or if you want to give a rendition to our viewers, treat our viewers to some of what you'll be hearing on Saturday?
Oh, let's have a good time. Me lover, me lover, me lover. I ain't telling you no more. Come on here.
He's still going strong, viewers. He's still going strong. And if you want to, I mean, not if you want, you should be there on Saturday and just celebrate with Lord Nelson. Like, we can't say that enough. We need to celebrate
Thank you.
And we're very, very happy and pleased that you are still with us. You have so much more to offer the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the arts of Trinidad and Tobago, the culture of Trinidad and Tobago. You are one of the pillars, and we are happy. We are so, so happy and delighted that you were here with us this morning.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And on viewers, on that note, this is how we're going to wrap this morning's show. It was wonderful being with you this morning. Remember to have a safe and productive day, and we'll see you again in the morning at 7 a.m. Bye for now, folks.
It was great, but them small fish my father does use for bait. Lion went ahead on points in the show, complete eliminated Mr. Debo. The next man to beat was Willie Outrageous. He asked the judges if he could lie first. The judges asked Lion, the Lion agreed. Say any topic we'll pick is alright with me. He outrageous I strong. Let we meet head on, and when we done see you fit to wear the crown, your hair lie.
That is lie. Your hair lie.
Reach out, forces say if you
Tell a lie, you're going to well as soon as you
The outrageous head, he knew a tailor come to making suit. The man is a master. If you show him a man going round a corner, he could make him a suit and don't even measure. I'm talking about suit, sitting down correct, expertly made and fitting perfect. He used to sew for Shakespeare, make suit for Hamlet, and up to this day, he had make a mistake yet. You know the crowd went wild. They couldn't cool down. I say liar, the lion losing the crown. The judges brought the crowd back to order and asked the lion to lie about a tailor. He said, my man is the best. Rolf is his name. Cotton cloth, making suit is his game. Don't show him the man. My tailor is class. Just show him the corner where the fella pass and he go make a suit. That is tailor. You hear that?